Matt Groveton, KYCX News. We have a bizarre, unbelievable, disturbing story to report to you this morning, a story that is unparalleled in this reporter's 8-year radio career. A local elected official is missing, and the circumstances surrounding his disappearance defies logic. Mexia Mayor Pat Fain cannot be found, and local, state, and federal authorities have staged an investigative tour de force in an effort to locate him, or at least uncover some facts surrounding this case. It began last night about 9:30 when local authorities began receiving calls from area citizens who were all reporting strange lights in the night skies. The great majority of the reports pinpointed the sightings near the Tawakona Hill area in northern Limestone County. Reports ranged from sightings of 6 extremely bright symmetrical objects to one bright fluorescent light moving perpendicular to the ground. Residents in and around the area reported that at exactly 9:30 last night, all clocks and other electrical appliances in their homes ceased to function. One motorist in the Tawakona area told authorities he was driving his 1978 Ford Bronco on a county road near Tawakona Valley when his vehicle died and all electrical functions in the vehicle ceased. He then said that the vehicle began to shake violently, and he said he lost consciousness a short time later. When he awoke, he found that all vehicle functions were back to normal. The man had to be taken to Harris Methodist Mexia Hospital, where he was treated for shock. He remains there this morning. Tom Burleson, a truck driver for Plantation Foods in Waco, was driving his 1985 Peterbilt tractor-trailer rig north on Highway 171 last night about 9:30 when he encountered what he called a group of bright lights.
I was driving down the road and I heard something hit my side mirrors and turned around and looked. And
what did it look like? I mean, was it lights or?
It was lights and flashing lights everywhere on it.
Elmer Davis, an elderly Tawakona Valley area resident, told KYCX that a pickup truck matching the description of Mexia Mayor Pat Fain's passed in front of his residence and parked about a half a mile south of his residence near a piece of property he owns. He then spoke of the chilling encounter that followed.
I got up and came out here, and this red thing was over there. There was some noise, some jabber or something. It kind of sounded like a bunch of geese, and the boy in the pickup we seen earlier, his truck was there, but we didn't see him. I went back inside and called the police.
Limestone County Sheriff Dennis Walker has been on the scene all night, and that's where we obtained and taped this brief, tense interview with him.
At about 9:30 tonight, the sheriff's office started receiving some calls from up in the Tawakona area regarding some bright lights that they'd been seeing there. When we started checking this out, we talked to Mr. Elmer Davis. He's an elderly gentleman that lives out in the Tawakona Valley area. He reported seeing some bright lights and hearing some noises and etc. in the area that he couldn't explain. He said this took place along some property along a county road that belongs to him there. Don Martin, Dennis Wilson, and myself went out to this area, and when we got there, we found a 1987 green Chevrolet S10 four-wheel drive pickup right near this area where he was talking about and where he had stated that he had heard the noises and seen the lights. Checking out the vehicle in question, we determined that it belonged to Mr. Pat Fain of Mexia. Learning this, knowing that was an unusual situation, we become concerned and at that time notified some other law enforcement agencies for assistance and started contacting some family members to locate the whereabouts of Pat. Then we went back to further investigation of the truck that we had found there and very readily noticed that in the immediate area of the truck there was a burned area on the ground approximately 100 feet in diameter. We further observed that the vehicle was left abandoned with its lights and emergency flashers on, the motor still running. A short ways from where the pickup itself was parked, we found one Reebok tennis shoe, and it was located rather close to the burned area and a short ways from the truck.
You think this belonged to Fain, or do you know?
Right now, at this time, we don't know. We would suspect that it does. That we have very little information, and at this time have been unable to locate Pat.
All right, Sheriff, it's quite an unusual situation, quite unbelievable situation here tonight. It would lead one to first think not to jump to any conclusions about what happened here tonight. What can you say? What can you tell the people as to what happened? It's obviously there are a number of questions that are unanswered about this.
Man, right now I don't know what to say or what to tell them. I quite honestly don't know what to do. This is the first time in my career that I have run into a situation like that. We've been notified just within the last few minutes that the Civil Air Patrol out of Waco at Madison Cooper Airport received a report of objects that they spotted on their radar. And also, we have been notified that FAA investigators from Carswell Air Force Base out of Fort Worth are en route to this location, and they've sent word to us to simply secure the scene and keep it as near in its original condition as possible and not let any spectators into the area. And we're just going to stand by and try to accomplish that until they arrive and hope they're a little more expertise at this than we are.
This is Limestone County Sheriff Dennis Walker. A short time after the interview, officials from Carswell Air Force Base arrived on the scene with some 40 to 45 investigators wearing what appeared to be black government-issue uniforms. Colonel Chuck Vassimer headed up the investigative crew, but was saying nothing.
I have no comment at this time, sir.
Local law enforcement officials cautioned citizens not to approach the area. Investigative crews are expected to be on site for at least 3 days, and all the witnesses you have heard were loaded into some sort of government transport vehicle and were whisked away into the night. Government officials attempted to confiscate the tapes you have just heard and strongly urged this reporter that they not be aired. Officials were provided with copies of the tapes, but it is our duty to provide the public with the facts, which is what we have done. At news time this morning, as far as we can determine at KYCX, no one was able to capture the bright lights on film. Authorities have only 2 pieces of hard evidence that something did happen last night near Tawakona Hill. The large burn on the ground surface, and this crude tape recording of what Tawakona area resident Sue Watterson said she heard at 9:30 last night after the power in her home went to black. The quality of this tape is not good. It was made on a battery-operated handheld microcassette recorder. This is the tape. KYCX News will continue in a moment.